Hello everyone, this is Messi once again, and today, before I go into reviewing this movie here, I have finally figured out what is up with the audio of my reviews of the first two Back to the Future movies, because I've been changed from HD Webcam C510, which is the name of the model of my Logitech webcam, from that to Realtek, so that's what the issue was, so I finally fixed that. Hopefully I sound better, if not, then I apologize. But also, I'd like to apologize if you are hearing the sounds of the rain in the background because it's been raining for quite a while. So those are the two things I want to get out of my way. But for right now, get on to this. So, to wrap up my reviews of the Back to the Future trilogy, I am going to review Back to the Future Part 3 with executive producer Steven Spielberg, director Robert Zemeckis, starring Michael J. Fox returning as Marty McFly, Christopher Lloyd as Doc Brown. You have Thomas F. Wilson returning as Biff, but also playing B from Mad Dog 10. Lea Thompson returning as Lorraine Baines and also playing Maggie McFly. And we are introduced to Clara Clayton, played by Mary Steenburgen. So, before I give you my thoughts on the movie, here's the backstory. During filming of the original, Zemeckis asked Fox on what time period he would like to visit, and he says that he would like to visit the Old West and meet the cowboys. The role of Clara Clayton was written for Mary Steenburgen, but she was reluctant to participate in the film until her kids loved the original film, hounded her to be in it. Clint Eastwood was asked for his name being used for the movie for the Marty character, so he could assist in it, and was said to be tickled by the homage. Back to the Future Part 3 was the first film to use the new Universal logo for celebrating its 75th anniversary. It ran until 1997. And the role of Seamus McFly was written for Chris McGlover, but turned down due to what I just said about the backstory on Back to the Future Part 2, as well as Claudia Wells. So instead, it became Michael J. Fox to play Seamus McFly. Back to the Future Part 3 was released on May 25th, 1990, and the reviews were positive in the second, but not as high acclaim as the first. The film did well at the box office by making $244.5 million worldwide and becoming the sixth highest grossing film of 1990. This was the first Back to the Future film not to receive any Oscar nominations. However, it did receive 5 Saturn Awards and winning 2 for Best Music, Alice Silvestri, and Best Supporting Actor, Thomas F. Wilson. And now we get to my thoughts on Back to the Future Part 3. And I know many of you consider this to be the black sheep of the series, and maybe you consider it to be your least favorite, or Part 2 is your least favorite, but it's one or the other which one is definitely the weakest of the series. Either it's Part 2 or Part 3. So, because it is understandable that the first one will always be the king of the series, the best of the series, and nothing can beat the first. So, for my opinion, Back to the Future Part 3, I actually really do love this one, and I had the most fun watching it. I honestly did not mind this movie taking place in the Old West, so why not? Because it's not like you want the same movie like Back to the Future Part 2, where let's see more about the future or anything, so the Western setting is fine to me. So it works really well with the movie, and I thought it looked really good. I thought the sets looked great. And I thought it's funny, even though it's not laugh out loud hilarious, but I do think it's funny. But it does provide some pretty good drama in the movie, especially you get more depth with the characters for Marty, but especially, of course, the Doc Brown character, which he's like the most central focus on the movie because we're always more concerned about the Doc Brown character. And I thought Mary Steenburgen does a really good job for playing Clara Clayton. She did not really annoy me. That's what I mean. She did not annoy me. And I thought Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd are still good. So, because these two make a great chemistry together for this trilogy, which is why these movies are fun to watch to see these two interact. And Lea Thompson was fine in her role, and so does Thomas F. Wilson. And I thought the effects are really good, even though there were some moments that do look slightly dated. Like, for example, where you have two actors in one scene together, when it's either it's barely composite, or probably the lighting wasn't lit up right, just to match up the scenes to composite to with the same actor as you have two actors in one scene together. So, but it is what it is, and it is 1990, so maybe technology has gotten better. And I thought the music by Alan Silvestri is really good, but also I never got to mention it in my review of Back to the Future Part 1 that I actually do like the two songs that are written by Huey Lewis and Anu's, The Power of Love and Back in Time. But if I had to pick what's my favorite song of the trilogy, it's definitely the one in Part 3, Devil Back by ZZ Top. And I just saw that song is catchy, and I just couldn't get enough listening to that song. So I really do like the song. I don't think there's really that much enough action in the movie, but you do have this one action set piece where they're trying to get back home. So I thought it was very well done. And I thought the music by Alan Silvestri is really good. And I thought it does go by at a pretty good pacing, and it does leave a pretty good message at the end of Part 3 where Doc Brown says to Marty McFly that your future hasn't been written yet, so make it a good one. For not only for Marty, but for his girlfriend, Jennifer. So Back to the Future Part 3 is definitely a great movie. It's still not as good as the first, but it's just as good as what it is, which is the same, I say, to Part 2. So Part 2 and 3 are both, I guess in a way, kind of similar to one another, but at the same time, I kind of like Part 3 a bit better than Part 2 because, I really don't know why, maybe because I just had the most fun watching Part 3. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Back to the Future Part 3. If I or give you my reasons on why do I like this film or not. So, but all I know is I enjoy Part 3. You may not agree with me for what I just say about Part 3, but it definitely doesn't deserve the hate it gets. And I know you may consider this to be the weakest of the bunch, like, of course, like other Part 3 movies that came out, or movies that came out in the past several years, like Return of the Jedi, or Godfather Part 3, or whatever. Because it's always difficult when you're making a sequel and see how can the sequels be just as good or be better than the original. So, for what it is, it did wrap up all the loose ends, and it did conclude very well as a trilogy. So, to recap my scores of the Back to the Future movies, I gave the first one an A+, the second one I gave it a B+, but for this one, I'm giving it an A-. If the effects weren't side days, then maybe I would have given it an A+, and I would have said 1 and 3 are like the two best films in the series, while Part 2 is my weakest. But for right now, Part 2 and 3 are both good, but they can't beat the first one. So, I enjoy all three of the Back to the Future movies, and I do thank Robert Zemeckis and Steven Spielberg for bringing these films to life, and especially for these two actors, Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. And they will always be Marty McFly and Doc Brown. So, and of course, if you're going to ask me this, do I really want a Back to the Future Part 4? Well, my answer is no, I don't. In a way, it would have been interesting if there was a Part 4, and for my thoughts on having a Part 4, I would just say make it as a standalone movie, but not make it under the trilogy or anything. But to me personally, I think it's better not to have it because you have all three of the Back to the Future movies. I believe that both Bob Gale, the writer of the film, along with Robert Zemeckis, both told the story they wanted to tell, and now this is what we get. You got all three of the Back to the Future movies, as I have it right here in my hand, and this is as many Back to the Future sequels as you needed. You got 2 sequels to the first movie, and now that makes it 3 movies. And that's all you needed. I thought it wrapped things up really well, and now it's time to move on. So that's my thoughts on Back to the Future Part 3, and I do say this trilogy is definitely one of the greatest trilogies of all time. So, hopefully I give you enough good reasons on why do I like Back to the Future Part 3. If you have any questions, let me know. Feel free to put the comments down below. And also, don't forget to subscribe. If you do not like this video, let me know. Is there anything I can do to make it better? Is there anything I could have said better in this review? Or what? Just let me know. Comments down below. And also, don't forget to subscribe. So, thank you for watching my reviews of the Back to the Future trilogy, parts 1, 2, and 3. And remember, folks, the future is whatever you make it. So next up, after part 3, there's a movie I want to review, which of course it came out back in 1971. It was not a popular film, but I think today people are talking about it, if they are. And I want to keep giving this movie the attention it deserves. And you'll see why. So, thank you for watching, take care, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.